Okay guys, so you can clearly tell it's another jug test video. Today's video is going to be with this 12 gauge Benelli Supernova and pump. Absolutely love this shotgun. This is in 12 gauge. Goodness. And then today's video is kind of really, it's not something that you just run out and do. Alright, now we are going to be shooting a slug. This is a Super X, Winchester Super X 2 3/4 inch with a 1 ounce slug. It says right there 1 OZ. Now, the reason why I say that you can't just run out, grab a shotgun, and just throw a slug in it is a lot of shotguns are tunable. And what I mean by tunable is if you're new to shotguns or new to rifles or new to guns in general, shotguns, a lot of them, now some of the older ones don't, but a lot of these newer ones are choked. And that means if you're wanting to hunt close and not just completely obliterate like a squirrel, then there's certain chokes. And now this here shotgun is completely empty. You can see there's nothing in the bore. So right here is your choke. Now whenever you buy a shotgun, if it has a choke, they will send you'll get one of these, and this is a choke wrench. And you just simply, it falls in the little notches and it unthreads. And this is your choke. And if you look on this choke, there'll be little notches right there. This one has 4, which means it is an improved cylinder. 5 is cylinder, and the fewer notches that you have on your choke, the smaller diameter that this outside hole is. And let me put this one back in just for sure that I do not mix it up, because I'm telling you, it's bad juju. I have a couple more chokes here. Let me put the wrench up. I've got 2 chokes, well 3 counting the one in the gun, but this right here is what I'm talking about. This choke has 3. This choke has just 1. 1 is full, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure what 3 is. Might be skeet. I'm not 100% sure. But the fewer notches, the tighter the shell, the pattern will be. So if you're wanting to shoot something really far away, like if I want to shoot something from like that, my gong or that tree in the middle, I would want to use a full choke. And there's even like an extra full or something like that. There's even chokes under, or that is more what's the word I'm looking for, restricted than a full choke. But this is the biggest that I have, but you need to look it up, because for 3 or 4 I can run slugs through this. 5 I can run slugs through this. 3 you cannot run a slug through it. You will damage your shotgun, or yourself. If you run a solid full choke and you shoot, I mean, yeah, you probably would get away with it a little bit. It would deform your slug and possibly stretch your barrel, expand it. But it also, being a 1 ounce, a 1 ounce slug can do a lot of damage, like you're getting ready to see. So before you load a slug into your shotgun, make sure it is either a fixed cylinder, or if it is choked, make sure you have a choke tube in your barrel that will allow a slug. You will hurt yourself if you're not careful. So with that being said, this is the smallest I could get away with and run and still shoot a slug, but this choke tube is slug approved. But yeah, this 1 ounce Winchester Super X, I guess this is your typical slug. It looks like a hollow point, but I guess this is just your typical slug. I don't really expect necessarily to catch it, because like I said, these slugs do an incredible amount of damage. They kick like a mule. This is a high brass high brass 1 ounce 12 gauge. That's a sore shoulder if you shoot a whole lot. Now this thing has the cushiony buttstock, which helps, but anything 1 ounce 12 gauge will hurt after a certain amount. But I just wanted to go ahead and make that known. I do not advise anybody to just go out or go into their, well, my dad's got a shotgun, or, I got a shotgun. Do not put a slug in it unless you find out what choke your shotgun is. I promise. Don't do it and then blow up your shotgun and try to blame me or anybody else about it. You've been warned. But you'll see for sure that, for one, these horses do not like shots whatsoever. So they will definitely run. But also, I'm not sure if 5 milk jugs will stop this 1 ounce slug. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to catch it. If I do, that would be awesome. I would love to see what a 12 gauge shell looks like expanded, if it even does expand. I've also got some other different slugs, and I'm not sure if they're also 1 ounce, but it rained. My little town, little neighborhood got just blasted with rain, so I didn't want to bring out the 30-30. I know I mentioned it in the last jug video that I had a nice 30-30, and I do, and that is why I do not want to bring it out in the rain. I apologize. Hopefully next jug video it'll be a clear day. It's not raining right now, but right before I come out the door it was sprinkling. So who knows when it'll start and stop, but I'll have to find a nice pretty day that it is not going to rain at all, because this rifle, up until about that point right there, is wood. So if that gives you any hints, but we're going to go ahead and get this video. Well, we'll load it. We'll load it the cool way. Alrighty, we're on safety. Get back a little ways. I put them up on my old stand, or my old shooting table, or God, good grief, my old catch can is what I guess, a catch box. I had it up there for Full Metal Jacket, and I did not shoot a Full Metal Jacket. I shot it with a creep with the 6.5. Pretty sure that video is on the channel. But yeah, I'm gonna have to. I had to piece this box together because it needed to be a certain width, and I didn't have a board that width, so I had to piece it together with a few different pieces. which made it weak. But Full Metal Jacket Box 2.0 coming soon, hopefully. But we are going to go ahead. I don't know if I need to crouch any. I can see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shoot a little bit high, like just about an inch above center. That should keep it pretty straight. Again, it's a slug. It acts like a Full Metal Jacket, I would assume. It's not going to break apart, I do not think. So probably it'll try to dart off somewhere. So if I can see where it hits the ground, I'll try to find it. We might catch it in 5 jugs. I'm not sure. Like I said in the last video, my mom threw away milk jugs, and I had like 10 saved up. So we're just making do with what we have. It'll at least give you an accurate representation of what a 1 ounce 12 gauge slug does to 5 milk jugs. I hope we catch it. That would be really cool. Don't think we will, but I have been wrong twice or once. So, like I said, we're on safety. Take it off safety. Just above center. Okay, I immediately see 3 jugs gone, pretty much. And I'm sure you've seen in the video, it thumped pretty hard. Alright, I'm pretty sure I can already see what happened. Alright, this, I would assume, maybe jug 1. Not sure. Probably should have numbered them. Really should have numbered them. Alright, so what I thought was going to happen pretty much did happen. Slug went in, and by the time it got to here, it just sort of shot towards the side, just like a Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jackets are really hard to find. So I'm not sure which number this is, but I'm thinking this was 2. I can't imagine that being the first one. So this would be 1. It blew the lid off, but right there is where it went in. Let's see if I can. So above center, but I did shoot a little too, well, let's see here. Let's try our best to piece this jug together. Yeah, I shot a little bit to the left, which again just goes to show how sporadic slugs and Full Metal Jackets can be, because it entered on the left on the first jug, and by the time it got to the third, it was completely on the right side, and it scraped. I shot right there. That was the 22 video. That's the little nick that it made. That's why this was in the back. But if I had to guess, I would say the slug is around here somewhere. And but before I step in front of this, it is empty. So go ahead and get that out of the way. I don't want to look too long because I just don't want to make this video ridiculously long looking for a bullet. But I would say it's here. I know I mentioned in like most of my videos, whenever I say that I do carry my Taurus with me just about everywhere. And a lot of people, might think, that's stupid. I have it with me right now. It's holstered on my side. The reason being, last night, well, this is why I carry on my own property doing anything. Me and my mother were feeding our dogs. It was late, around 11:30, 12 o'clock, and I was at my gate and a car drove by, turned around at the top of my hill, and drove by going about 10 miles an hour. I had a flashlight. I flashlighted them. They kept going. And probably 200 feet from my driveway, they stopped, turned all their lights off. Now, I don't think they were particularly after me or my family, but drugs around are bad everywhere. But whenever you have drugs in houses that you could throw a rock and hit from your house just about, you do not take that chance. And at the time, whenever the car first went by, I didn't have my pistol. It was midnight. We were just going out to feed. So I just went out, and the car drove by once, not like at average speed, slower than average, but they just drove by. And then whenever they slowed down, they turned around, and I told Mom, I said, that car just turned around. So I seen them go back by, and whenever they went back by is whenever they were going 10, 12 miles an hour. So I said, you just hang tight, turn your light off, let me go get my pistol. And I ran inside, grabbed it, come back out, and we went down to the bottom of the driveway, and the car was easily within eyesight. Whenever I turned the light on towards them, the car reflective pieces in the brake lights lit up. Do not take chances. Right over that hill is the houses I'm talking about. I do not take my chances. We live in a heavily wooded area, so anybody that wanted to come across the fence could be right there and I wouldn't see them. So, I mean, it's bad, and you think, nah, man, you're just overreacting. No, that there has been instances where we have had people on our property. We have had rumors of weapons not used in a crime, but weapons stole from crime scenes and dumped in ponds. We don't know what pond. It wasn't really mentioned what pond. There's a pond that way over top of this hill, my pond, and the guy that threw the gun was bunking with the next door neighbor. So he could have just hopped over this hill, tossed the pistol in this pond, and headed out. Nobody knows. I mean, but he for sure, they caught him, and they asked him, where's the pistol, where's the, and he said, I dumped it in a pond. And we don't know. Hasn't nobody come in and said we need to drain your pond, but that is why whenever I mention in my videos that I'm carrying, whenever I'm up here, whenever I'm down there, whenever I'm anywhere, if you have a pistol, it is your right to carry it. I don't care what anybody else tells you. If you fall under the category, you carry. I mean, what is it going to hurt? I mean, it's worth it. If you get caught in a situation, you have it. If you don't, who cares? You have it. You are ready. Do not. I mean, you gotta be smart. And don't worry about the eyes. I mean, I get people looking at me all the time. I've had several kids run from me. In like local Walmarts and Sam's Clubs and stuff. I have had kids run off to their parents and say, he's got a gun. And I'm like, well, you need to teach your kid that not everybody with a gun is out to hurt. And it's everywhere.